Good day to everyone. Good day, and welcome to another episode of Truth to Freedom, Real Talk for Real People. I'm one of the co-hosts here, James Parker, and I'm joined by my other co-host, Mr. Quentin Williams. How you doing, sir?
Doing well. How are you?
Everything is good. Everything is good to see, sir. And we have a special guest with us today. A good friend of ours is going to give his insight on how he sees things, and his name is Mr. Jeff Meister. How you doing, Mr. Jeff?
I'm doing great. Hello, everybody.
Awesome. So I'm glad we got back together because I wanted all the fanfare with everything going on with Trump being shot at and assassination attempt, and Biden dropping out, and how Harris is uplifted, and it just go from one thing to another, and everybody's had their own rhetoric and their opinions or whatever. So I want to kind of like let all that die down so we can come together and have our own little conversation about it, and throw it out there with the rest of the issues going on, I guess. But the first thing I wanted to throw at you is the assassination attempt on Trump. Now, rumors have it, reports have it that it may have been staged. The police department's blaming Secret Service. The Secret Service is blaming the police department. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence because this guy who was 20, I think he was 20 years old, whatever, how he did what he did to get up to that roof, and nobody was able to stop him. Nobody able to confront him before he even got to where he got to. But I know Jeff know, and I know if he was any kind of marksman at 150 yards, he shouldn't have missed. That should have been a clear headshot, and Trump should have been down. But I don't know what his skills is. I don't know. But that's what's out there. So Jeff, you new to the scene as our guest today. I'll let you go first. What's your thoughts on it?
I think Trump turning his head saved his life. And the staged comment, there's a family in Pennsylvania that lost a dad and a husband and a family member. I don't know that I would have the nerve to say it was staged in front of them, because I don't think it was staged. I just think the guy was not trained. And even though he went to the range and everything, he didn't have the training to understand windage and everything else. But no, it was not staged, in my opinion. It was not a political game. The man almost lost his life, and he didn't need to. He doesn't need to do this job. There's no money gained. There's only punishment for him and his family to do this job, and I don't understand. I wouldn't do it. But yes, was it staged? I have no doubt that it was not. The Secret Service is trying to put all the blame on the local and state police, but they've already come out with statements that they were given their responsibilities and they took their responsibilities. And they also said that during the pre-briefing, the Secret Service wasn't even there. So there's a lot of blame on everybody else, but the Secret Service ultimately has the responsibility to protect the president now and the past president. So no matter what, the Secret Service was responsible.
And that's understandable. Yeah, I from past, different events and things of that nature that they've covered, they've always made sure that whatever could have happened, might happen, thought of, might not thought of, they normally cover all that. And it's like you're not going to get within 200 feet of the president without somebody questioning you, wanting to know what you're at, where's your credentials, so forth and so on. So, and then, like you said, there was somebody killed protecting their family. I would hate to think that somebody would stage something and in the process somebody died from it. But you know what? Sometimes you just don't know what's in the hearts of a man, what he will go through for control and power. So I guess it can go either way. What about you, Mr. Quinn? What you feel about that?
Well, I agree with Jeff. I don't think it was staged at all because, I mean, like he said, him turning his head is the only thing that saved him. And like he said, an innocent bystander. So I don't believe it's staged. Um, people are gonna come up with all kind of conspiracy theories to make it make sense in their head. But as far as him running for president, I do believe that there's something in it for him. Presidents get $400,000 a life after, after they serve. I mean, you get that, it looks good on his resume. So I think there is something in it for him.
Yeah.
I don't know. He didn't take a paycheck the whole time he
Do
was
we know that?
president.
He did what, Jeff?
Do we know that for sure?
He donated his checks every month to charities while he was president. So I don't I don't think that that money's going to change his life.
No, I don't think it would change his life, but it's also a good amount of money.
Hmm.
For us.
Yeah.
For us it is.
A whole lot.
I
Changed a
guess
whole lot.
I guess I would agree with you. The perks probably outweigh the
Yeah.
pay when you're in that position because I mean you got ex presidents that are living high on the hog and they're not off of $400,000 a year. That's for sure.
No, but they get paid for speaking engagement.
Yes. Yep.
And I think that's what most of them end up. They hit that circuit because I think they get like pretty nice paychecks for coming to different events and not really speaking that long. So if you can hit 2 or 3 a week, you're doing pretty good for yourself, and you ain't got to do it but maybe once a month.
Yeah.
I hear you. But moving to Biden, so of course he had the debate with Trump, and everybody was talking about how he didn't do good, stuttering and trying to find his words and things. Supposedly he didn't have a good debate, is what everybody said to do. So I guess they finally convinced him to step down. And in the process of him stepping down, he he endorsed Kamala Harris for the nomination. And I haven't really actually been listening to see if they accepted that or they're still going to go through some kind of nomination process. I don't know what you guys have heard. I know they pretty much have put her out there. She's supposed to be the one. In fact, they've also been pushing, we don't need to have nobody else. We just go with her. This is the problem I have. If she's if she is supposedly as qualified as they say she, then how come she don't have anything that she can put down on paper that would show that she's qualified? Because when she was in California, I looked up some of her stuff, and she's just as crazy as anybody else that has been in office. I ain't see nothing that she did in California that helped anybody. I've seen her put a lot of people in jail. I see her supporting same-sex marriage. I saw where they was trying to do something and she was hiding evidence. Oh, some case or something that they was trying to do, and she wouldn't release information or something that would have helped this guy get out of jail or some kind of evidence that she wouldn't release. I should have wrote that down. Something that she wouldn't release, but that would have let this man out of jail. But then she's on the circuit now. I'm for the people. I'm for this, and we got to work together. But then the Democrats want to launch this campaign. So don't worry about her record. Don't worry about nothing. Just support her. Why? Because she's a Democrat. Why? Because she's a black woman. That's it. That's what they want us to vote for. That's what they want us to put our vote under. Don't waste your vote. Vote for her in order to keep Trump out. Really? So y'all saying that Trump is that bad that you just want to vote her in, regardless of her record, what she can do, what she can't do. You want us to vote her in because this is the other problem I have. So we had two black organizations. One was the women's organization, which is her chapter, the AKA, that they got together. And according to Fortune, it was 44,000 that got on this Zoom call, and within 3 hours they raised $1.5 million at that time. I'm pretty sure it's more now, but at that time. And then right behind that, Roland Martin and his henchmen got together and got 100,000 black men on a Zoom call, and within 48 hours, they raised $2 million for the support the Harris campaign. Now, out of all the problems we have going on in America, out of all the issues that we got going on in America, and we raised this kind of money to give to a candidate, and you're telling us we supposed to support her just cause, and they're going to give these candidates millions of dollars to run commercial that's going to cost $1 million in all these battleground states, and they've never got together to raise money for legit causes. Like, do you know what $1 million would do to organizations that help homeless people? How they would be able to help? How that big of an impact would be? Do you know what $1 million would be to help schools and school lunch programs and things of that nature. Do you know what $1 million would do to any organization? Shoot, $1 million to St. Jude Hospital that they take care of kids for free and the parents and all that. These kids that get sick again. You know what $1 million would have done for them to touch somebody's life? But this is what we raise money for. I've never heard them try to raise money anything like this before anything else. So this is just my opinion. I'm turning over to y'all, but I'm sorry. I know people talk about how folks fought for us to vote. They fought for us to have the right to vote. That's fine. But am I to waste my vote? If I don't agree with this candidate, and I don't agree with that candidate, and I don't have nobody else to choose from, then why am I voting? Why would I waste my vote? If the vote is that important, why would I waste it? If I don't see nobody I can vote for, then I guess I'm just not voting. I'm sorry. I just don't see why I should vote for this person because they're the lesser of evils and you don't want me to waste my vote. If my vote is that important, then I'm going to make sure my vote goes to the candidate that I feel is qualified to do the job under whatever my values or whatever my policies are. That's what I'm on. But if neither one of them are under my policies, then why am I waste my vote? That's my rant. Quentin, I turn it over to you.
So I do agree with you when you say if they can raise that much money, then they can raise it for other things. You know, like you said, I mean, if you can raise that much money for a candidate, you can raise it for your community. You know.
Yep, that's my point.
And this whole, so I watched some of that Roland Martin interview. Oh, so I watched some of the Roland Martin stuff.
Mhm.
And if they want us to vote for her, because if they want us to support her because she is supposed to be a black woman, one, I don't even think she identifies as black. Her father's Jamaican and her mother's Indian. Two, this is just some other identity politics BS. So we're gonna go into this identity politics, but like you said, you know, she's not supporting anything that you want. So what do you get out of that for voting for her because or supporting her because she's a black woman, but she's not, you know, everything's the same. Food inflation's still gonna be high. Food is gonna be high. Gas is gonna be high. There's rent is ridiculous. Wages won't be increased. She spoke to all those things, or some of them, but you know, I don't really believe politicians anyway. They'll say whatever they want on the campaign trail. People will be energized. They'll get people energized, just like Obama did. It was a whole hope and change thing. But what actually changed? Nothing happened.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought
So
that up because that's my argument. It's 2024, and we have the same issue than we had back in 1920. It's the same problem. It's the same issue. Housing, wages, healthcare. Do you know I've never seen so many elderly that had to go back to work because they can't afford their healthcare.
yep,
Walmart is full of them. Half the staff is old elderly people trying to, and I mean, some look like they can just barely move. And this is acceptable. But this is my thing with people and following this two-party system. Democrats have said that they were supposed to be helping all the issues that we just talked about. Nothing has changed. So you think I'm gonna vote another Democrat in the office to do what? You ain't helped me now. That's why I don't understand why people have not woke up yet to fight this two-party system because they haven't helped you. They haven't. They lied. They lied. It's 2024 and rent is $1,300-$1,400 for a one bedroom. Really? We was in Detroit, and the guy that got an Uber to go somewhere, and young black guy. So we just talked to him about the area, and he was telling us how one time Detroit was about to ruin because the car industry had downsized and went away, and they was trying to rebuild themselves, and they finally did, and so they've been able to rebuild whatever. But he said in the process of all that, everything just went sky high. He said he can't even live here. He said a studio apartment was $2,200. A studio apartment. If you want to live
I
in a
believe it.
decent neighborhood,
Wow.
I believe it.
that's crazy. If you live anywhere else, you living in questionable areas. But anyway, Jeff, what you got to add, sir?
So I've been wondering basically the same question. People talk about they won't vote for Trump because he's a pig, because he slept with a woman while he was married. And so, how are you going to sleep with a woman that slept with a married man instead of him? If he's a pig, then she's a pig. So, you know, what are her policies that are going to help all of us? Like you said, she put more people in jail with what she did. And then during all the riots, she came up with a fund to get people out of jail that were rioting and burning. And some of the people that she got out of jail, they murdered again. What what good is she going to do for the country? You know, I don't care if she's a woman. I don't care if she's a woman of color. I don't care what she is. I'm going to go on her policy. So nobody can say what her policies are because she hasn't set a standard of policies other than going with the Biden policies now. And she wants to make them more progressive than they are now. So whatever, she already showed what she can do on the border, which is nothing. So, you know, it's just going to end up costing us and our children and grandchildren more and more with what she's doing now. And I want to know, what are you going to do to bring the cost down? She wants to get rid of all gas vehicles. She wants all electric. And her foreign policies, she already showed when, you know, one of our closest allies, prime minister, comes to speak to Congress and she goes to a sorority. Somebody needs to explain to me where the sorority was a priority over a world leader. And I just can't see any policies that makes her a leader. She's more of a follower to me. So that's my opinion. I don't vote party. I vote principle.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't care, male or female. What do you stand for, and what are you going to do for this country? Not just me, but my children and grandchildren and neighbors.
I'm with
And
you.
I don't see it.
No, I mean we haven't seen
So,
it. We haven't seen it in decades. I mean, that's just like I was talking to Quentin about the border issue. If they really wanted to fix the border issue, it could have been fixed years ago. But they keep leaving it open because it becomes a political tool when it comes time for election. So we just leave the border open. Meantime, you got people coming across the border. But the other thing is about the border, that's not the only way people are getting in this country. It's just not through that border. Same with drugs and
right,
everything else. There's other ways, there's other avenues that people are getting into the country. There's other avenues where drugs are getting into the country. But everybody's so focused on the border that you forget about everything else. And then you keep watching the news wondering why we still having all these killings and all this drugs and all the other stuff. It ain't just the border. But we live in this world of like everything is sensationalized and we just focus on that. And then we got that herd mentality that we just go with the crowd. I mean, it's like the sheep herder leading the sheep, and we just all follow. When, like you said, Jeff, you don't vote party. You need to, people need to wake up and realize you need to start voting for the individual. Now you got Cornel West running as independent. I forget what's the name of his party. What he called he got a certain name that
Is it the? I think it's the. Is it the Justice Party?
it might be. I meant to write it down. It's something that he calls. But thank you for sending me that podcast too. I was listening. But I listened to Cornel West, and he has policy, he has ideas, he has a game plan that sounds like it would work. The only problem he'll have is that if he ever got elected, if he didn't get a Congress and a Senate to back him, he probably wouldn't get nothing that he wants passed because they keep voting it down. But past that, at least he has sound doctrine and sound plans that he's trying to do that's supposed to be for the people. Now, if they had to raise money for him, I can understand. At least they was raising money for somebody that's trying to make a difference in the country and in the world. But for somebody that's not even trying to make a difference, and you raise all this money,
And not to cut you off, but so I was listening to Roland Martin today. On top of the money they raised, they said that the Biden Harris campaign already had 300 million. So they already had this money, and because of the campaign finance laws, had she not ran for president, then nobody could have touched that money. So, maybe that's another reason why but I mean, who else would they pick? They don't really give anybody else a chance.
nope, no
What
real, no real person.
no, and what was it? Was it 2020? And there was like 15 people they could have chose from.
Yeah.
And they gave us the same old, BS establishment, the same line of people who think in the same way. I mean, it's the same politics and the same people that got NAFTA passed.
Yep.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's obvious that the country doesn't want this. Why it keeps happening? I think it keeps happening because not enough people get together. People aren't woken up to it. Not enough people anyway.
Well, brother,
Well,
that's why we started this podcast. Hopefully, we'll wake somebody up. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeff.
Quentin, you're right. I mean, it's like people don't understand the Federal Reserve has nothing to do with the federal government. It's the elite rich controlling the funds for this country. The Federal Reserve is nowhere involved. The government is not involved in the Federal Reserve, but they gave it a name of Federal Reserve so everybody thinks, oh, that's the federal government. No, it's the Rockefellers and the Kennedys and everybody else that controls the money. Totally unaccountable, but totally in control. You're talking about raising funds. How about I think it's up to $20 billion we sent to Ukraine. I still remember him sitting up there on that stage at that press conference saying, yep, I told him if he didn't fire that prosecutor, that he wasn't going to get the money. And I'll be damned, he fired the prosecutor. What was the prosecutor investigating? His family. So, they are distracting us to fight each other so they can do their bidding on what they want. They don't care. They're going to separate us by color, by money. Everybody hears the 1%, 1%. Everybody says Amazon makes too much money and doesn't pay any taxes. Well, all his money is in building and vehicles and all this other stuff. But nobody ever pays attention to all the jobs that he's created that they're paying taxes. He's paying taxes on his money, but most of his fortune is in assets. It's not in money. It's not in cash. So now you got the Bill Gates. He's already sold everything. Everything he has is in money.
And land.
He's just using to what?
And land.
And land. Yep. Bill Gates and Oprah and all of them, they're all buying land. So everybody can fight everybody that they want to fight, but all we are is pawns.
Yep.
Black, white, purple, and green. We're all pawns, and they're playing us against each.
I'm glad you said that, Jeff, because you are exactly right. Because the conversations that they have are not the same conversation that we have. We sitting around the table, we trying to figure out how we're going to rob Peter to pay Paul. They sit around the table wondering about how they're going to buy their next yacht. They don't have the conversation that we have. Gas prices can go up to $20 a gallon. It would not affect them. They can care less. They can care less.
And you quit drilling and the prices go up. Hello. He already said he was going to do that. So, and we're buying crude oil from our enemy, just like we were. They want to talk about Iran fighting against Israel, having the money to do it. Well, we're giving Iran the money because we're buying crude oil from them.
Giving both of them money.
Yes.
How ironic. I tell you, we are something. US of A, and we are something. So, hey, look, I want to show y'all this video. It's this black lady that's talking about the situation we just talked about as far as Trump and Biden and everything. And I'm not sure the setup because she's it's like a restaurant or something, and she's room full of elderly white men, and she's talking to them, but she brings out some good points. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to hear what she got to say. I hope y'all can see that.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yes. But they love to use us and live off of capitalism while they spout an anti-God, anti-America rhetoric.
All right, y'all. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you're tuning in. I'm grateful to have you here. And we got a doozy today because this woman just went off in all the best ways possible and destroyed the leftist narrative, absolutely eviscerated it. So I had to share this one. I'll give my 1 cent and some thoughts after the video finishes rolling. Let's get it popping.
The Democratic Party, they promote black women. Particularly if she's a lesbian. Yes. They promote black women who are not even qualified. We have seen with the diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is really racism, which is really saying, well, black people just, darn it, they're not smart enough, so we have to give them handouts. And you're pushing black women who are not qualified. Dr. Claudine Gay of Harvard. Now the head of diversity at Harvard is also accused, if I have it correctly, of plagiarism. And we'll get to Fannie Willis, who was elected as a DA in Fulton County, Georgia, primarily because she's black, in my opinion. And we've seen case after case. But the black man, where is he? That's done deliberately. And it started really in the 60s, where the Democrats pushed policy, right, that said to women, particularly black women, you don't need a man in the home. We'll give you more money if you're single. And I grew up in the 70s and I saw the effects. I saw it in the 80s, the broken home. Now it's more dysfunctional home where you have some women with 8 children by 5 different fathers. They don't know who their fathers are, in and out. It has almost destroyed the black community. But they're doing it in a different way now. They're promoting black women and want black men to be down here. And I think black men sense that. And they know that Trump relates to them. They relate to Trump very well. The evil Barack Obama.
Barack Obama is a foot soldier.
Oh yeah, for the globalist elite. Oh, absolutely. Barack Obama was a plant.
Yes. He was.
And now they want to put Michelle.
Barack Obama was, a plant. He did nothing for the black community.
Nobody even knows who he is.
Did he ever come back to Chicago with as much crime to talk to young black men? He doesn't give a damn. Barack Obama is a curse on this nation. So is Joe Biden.
I think it's the black.
We provided the money for his Marxist socialist programs, pushing abortion in Africa and other things. He didn't care about us. He didn't care. That gave rise to Trump, because Trump actually listened to us. He actually cares. Many of us, it was bad. At least Bill Clinton BS'd and said, I feel your pain. But at least he said it. Barack Obama didn't give a damn. He should have never been elected. Before he was elected in 2000, he got elected in 2008. My mother sent, may God rest her soul, letters to black churches warning them about Barack Obama, saying he was so ungodly. I said, Mom, that's harsh. She wrote it anyway. And everything my mother said, may God rest her soul, was right. He hates this country, but he wants to live off the fat of the land. Like the founders of Black Lives Matter, they don't give a damn about black people. They didn't have to spend one dime to help build a black business. But these lesbians, they bought homes in predominantly white neighborhoods. See, they say they hate capitalism, but they love to use us and live off of capitalism while they spout an anti-God, anti-America rhetoric.
Just they got you in a
Black community, they put us in danger. No, not all black people are drug dealers or this or that, but you're harming the average black who lives in an area that is high crime. When you talk about defund the police, and we saw the other day in New York City, where you had illegals beating up an NYPD officer. That went viral. But under Trump, something like that would have been dealt with immediately. He would have spoken out immediately. Alvin Bragg, from what I understand, helped them to get out.
no bail.
Yeah,
They got their
no bail. There is a concern among Democrats that the vote for Trump is hardening within the black community. It's solidifying. It's not just a passing fancy. And I think Democrats, both black and white, liberals, they're panicking. Some of the reasons why blacks, particularly black men, are drawn to Trump is that he puts America first. He puts Americans first. We see that Joe Biden and his administration, they're now in this battle with the state of Texas to cut down the barbed wire. We, ladies and gentlemen, have essentially an invasion of our country going on.
Great.
Black people are waking up. All you have to do, I would recommend, if you want verification, go on YouTube. Black residents in Chicago. Type in Chicago, black people, immigrants. They are fed up. Black people are now feeling the effects. You know, when these liberal mayors, we want to be a sanctuary city, New York, LA, even Newark, New Jersey. We want to be a sanctuary city. But you see, they don't put the illegals where Nancy Pelosi lives, where believe me, they put them with us. And I'm not anti anything, but it must be done correctly and fairly. I mean, the hypocrisy of these leftists and liberals is stunning.
That was gooder than chicken right there. Y'all may disagree, but the way she just tied all that together and then put the hypocrisy bow on top at the end, oh, I love it. God bless.
That's my brother Devin Gibson. He has a good channel if you ever get a chance to check it out. But that's off his channel. And there was a little bit more, but I can stop it there because that what she said was the gist of it. Uh, Jeff, what do you think? What do you think about what she said, and how much truth to it, and how much you agree, and how much you disagree?
I agree with most of it because he is waking up the country, and you know they just had a riot in D.C. that broke into a federal building, and none of those are in a mold infested jail cell like January 6th. No, January 6th was not right. Okay. It was not right. I'm not going to say they were right. But if you look at the Capitol Police, they were guiding them around the Capitol, showing them this room does this and this room does that. You know, the Capitol Police were their tour guides. We need to understand that. They broke in, but they had tour guides. The fence was opened up by the Capitol Police. They didn't storm a fence. So the Capitol Police let them at the Capitol. But that's a different show. So the lady said her eyes are getting open. I think since Jeffrey Epstein's island was closed, part of the reason they have the border open is because that's the only way they're getting their little kids now. Politicians, movie stars, they were all on Jeffrey Epstein's list. I think that's part of the open border.
Some other world
But
leaders too.
do what now?
Some other world leaders was on his list too.
A lot of world leaders, yes. But they also, you know, what she was talking about the border, the Chinese are flying over to Mexico near Tijuana and walking across the border in their fancy suits and their nice luggage. The Chinese government let them people get on an airplane to fly to Mexico. China does not let people go unless there's a reason. So this border problem that she's talking about, I don't care if the people come across the border, but come through the gate so we know who you are. You're not going to let some stranger into your house, but they're letting strangers into our backyards. Did you see where DeSantis flew an airplane full of immigrant or took buses up to the vice president's house?
No, did that? I ain't see that.
Oh, you need to check that out. Kind of like they did at Martha's Vineyard. You
No.
know, they flew a bunch of illegals up there. 24 hours later, there was no illegals on Martha's Vineyard. Don't know where they went. I guess they put them on a plane and sent them to our backyard because they didn't want them in theirs. But the policies of the Democratic Party are not for you. They are not for me. They are only there for them. And I'm a firm believer in that. I was a Democrat at one time. I am not a Republican. I am a conservative. If a Democrat has a conservative value, I will support them. So policy over politics.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. What about you, Quinn? What you think about what she had to say?
She said a lot. I think she's saying a lot that a lot of other folks say or have said. So, black women are the highest educated group. Black men are the lowest. And I think that alone is used to sow division because I see and hear people fight about that. I'm all for schooling, but my thought process is education is supposed to help you get a job. And that's really all, get you in the career field. That's pretty much all it is. People will use that. They'll use education against somebody else who doesn't have education. So there's a whole kind of classism behind it. So I kind of agree with her on that statement. Now I don't want to paint with a broad brush when she talks about lesbians because I don't think any one group of people are monoliths, and every single person in this one group does all of these things. I can't think like I don't think black people are monolith, and I don't think white people are. So I can't think that about anybody else. But her and the the comments you made about the men back in the 60s, those were policies that LBJ pushed. And I've heard a few people talk about it. I don't, I had to do my own research about it, but I've heard it before.
Well, I mean, she brought up some good points, and and I, I think if people start waking up, because this is the problem. Other countries, they teach their children wealth, prosperity, business. They teach them how to live and survive and grow and do what we always promised the American dream. Here in America, we don't teach that. We don't teach them the basics. We don't teach them about saving, investment, things of that nature. We don't teach people how to be entrepreneurs and all this other stuff. It's like after the fact that they find out about a lot of stuff. But we don't teach our nation to grow and prosper. It's like we just teach them basic labor skills and that's it. We're not a nation to teach to where we all can benefit. And we're all not going to make the same amount of money. We're all not going because everybody's got their different viewpoints or different ways they want to live their life. Everybody don't want to be a millionaire. Everybody don't want to make a lot of money. Some people just want to live a decent life where they can take care of their children. The mother want to stay at home. She can stay at home and you ain't got to work 80 jobs to make it happen. Your kids go to a safe environment, school, where they ain't got to worry about being bullied or somebody coming in and shooting up the school every other day. This is what people want. That nobody's wants to outcast the rich folks. Nobody wants to outcast the poor folks. Everybody just wants to have an opportunity. But we don't teach that. We have dumbed down our schools to I don't know. I don't know what they know. Because here in a minute I'm gonna show y'all something that is sad, but this is where our generation is now. That they don't even have the motivation to earn a living. They don't even want to earn a living. I don't know how they expect to get anything paid or pay their bills, but they don't even want to earn. But we this election here, it's either gonna make us or break us. And if we're going in the direction that I think we're going, it's gonna break us because we're gonna elect somebody in office that really shouldn't be there. And some of the policies that they're gonna push forward is just gonna make things worse. I tell you what, and as far as Trump policies make sense, and I know what Trump is trying to do, and I get it, and that I do agree with. I just wish Trump would not be so boisterous or just out there. A lot of times he just comes off so decisive, so and it wows everybody up, and it just seems like it creates a lot of division that people really aren't listening to him because they're going off his personality. Trump is Trump. That's just how he is. But I think if he was a little more diplomatic, he would be able to get his point across on a lot of things that would probably wake up some. That's just
Yeah, I want to say
James, you and I have discussed that. Go ahead, Quinn.
before we move on, I want to piggyback of what you said about his policies. So in the debate, when he did the debate with Joe Biden, he talked about trickle down economics. I don't believe in that. And if we look at policies, then we can see that Reagan ushered in a lot of, I mean, I'm gonna call it what it is. It's neoliberal policies that Clinton piggybacked off of, Obama piggybacked off of. And it's union busting, it's deregulation, it's privatization. He didn't do himself any good when he spoke on that because they're going to use that against him.
yeah.
Yep.
They already are. I saw one of the commercials. You're right that you mentioned it. One of the commercials brought all that up. That's part of his plan. Keep trying to tie it in with the that other plan or whatever.
Project 2025.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
that was like the list of unions and privatization.
You know, James, you and I have discussed this numerous times about policies. You know, when they redid the health care, and the only thing they ever needed to do with health insurance is take the words pre-existing condition out of it. You know, the insurance companies are making plenty of money. Take that phrase out of insurance. You know, they could have improved so much with what they had with just taking those words out.
Yeah.
And the reason it was not affordable to most people is because pre-existing condition. You know, listen to the people. That's what the problem is. And another thing we've discussed, Quentin was talking about LBJ. He came up with this program, and in order to be on the program, You can't have a savings account to build up to get yourself out of the hole. They're going to keep you in the hole because it takes money to get out of it. And if you're not allowed to have a savings account to dig yourself out of the hole because it's the law, you know, that's keeping everyone down.
It hurts you. Yeah.
Yeah. And just like James was talking about this video that he's getting ready to show. I showed James one, this lady standing in this hotel room with 15 kids, and she said, somebody's got to take responsibility for these kids. Hello, they're your kids. You know, somebody got to take responsibility. You're the one that had them. You know, if the federal government wants to do something, if his name is on the birth certificate, get him, you know, and something that else that's encouraging the child tax credit. You're on welfare and you're on the system and everything, and you got 7 kids, you're going to get that money back that you never paid. How?
So after 3, they don't give you any more money though. They cut it.
Are you sure about that?
They cut it about 3 or 4. That's all. That's it. You get the same amount for any more you have after that. But it's still.
Well, that one, yeah,
it's still.
it's still, yeah,
pretty good amount of money.
yeah. So how about allowing people to have a savings account to where they can get out of the hole?
Exactly.
You know, the laws are not to help people.
No.
These laws are to keep people down, on the government.
Well, if they wanted to help them, they would teach them financial literacy.
Exactly.
They don't even teach kids how to balance a checkbook.
I know, and like the podcast I showed James, they're not even teaching them how to read anymore.
Nope.
Yeah, and they can't even sign a check.
Can't count change or nothing. But that's what we're talking about. That's what I'm saying. If you want my vote, then you need to come up with some policies that we need to change what we got in place. Like the whole welfare system, revamped, done away with. How are you going to keep somebody in poverty? And these people, it's all generational because you grow up in it and you think this is how you're supposed to live. So what do? You do the same thing, having babies out of wedlock and living off the government because it's set up to where you start making any kind of money and you make $1 over the limit and they cut you off. Well, common sense would tell you that, okay, I'm getting back on my feet. Just like Jeff said, I open up a savings account because I'm trying to save up some money to get back on my feet. I'm saving up some money. So how about giving somebody some time to get on their feet? But you cut them off. They're already in poverty. You cut them off right at the limit. So they looking at it as, well, if they cut me off, if I make $1 over this, they're going to cut me off. And that's still not going to be enough for me to pay my bills, take care of my children, whatever. So what's the lesser? I might as well just stay where I'm at. At least here I know my rent will be paid because I'm on Section 8. I'm going to get a check or a card now for my food. I go to and get about 3 grocery carts full of food. And I'm okay. And then whatever little money I got left, I can still get my hair done and my nails did. This is their mentality. But we need to teach them to get them out of that mentality. You want to be able to support yourself, take care of yourself and your children, have some pride.
Have pride.
Exactly.
Yes.
This doesn't make any sense. We keep people so, I don't know. I don't know what the word.
It's easy to control them like that.
We're easy to control. And guess who? Guess who's going to the voting polls? These people. That's where they're going. Because the first thing that the Democrats are hollering that the Republicans are trying to cut your money. Oh, they're trying to cut my money. No, let me go vote. See, it's all controlled. It's all control.
Class warfare.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. So again, I'll say, like I said on other podcasts, people, y'all need to wake up. You really do. It's time for y'all to get a mind of your own, and it's time to start demanding some things from these politicians that they haven't been giving you, but they've been promising it election after election after election. But they have failed to deliver on any promises that they have. Again, it's 2024, and we still got the same issue that we had 8 years ago, 10 years ago. So when is it going to get fixed? And y'all keep voting them same crazy people in office, back in office, for them to do the same crazy stuff. I don't get it. I really don't.
How about Roy Cooper as the vice president?
Hey, throw his name in the hat. Why not? Why not?
His name was in there. I said, oh, wow.
Why not? I don't know. But anyway, y'all got anything else to add? Because we've died. We'll move on to some lighter stuff.
No, I don't have anything.
All right, so I'm about to show you some stuff. I I'm following this guy, and he's a postal employee out of Florida. So he does YouTube, and he came across some tapes of young folks crying about having to work. And when I watched it, I said, "This is why we're in the problem that we're in, and these are the people that are supposed to lead us." Now, one of them you're gonna see was crying about working and said something about they want to do their own. And I had to stop it because I'm thinking to myself, you don't even want to work 40 hours. You don't even want to work 8 hours a day, but you want to open up your own business. So I don't know who lied to you, but if you open up your own business, you're going to be working more than 8 hours a day and you're going to be working more than 40 hours a week. But I don't know. I'll let y'all watch this and and
Be
get
entertained.
and be entertained. Exactly. We're going to entertain.
Tell me what you think, and I'll give my opinion behind it.
Bro, I'm so tired of working, bro. I'm so tired of working, bro. I don't care about these bills, bro. I don't care about this freaking car, bro. I don't care about this freaking car insurance, bro. I don't care about these kids. Bro, I don't care about my hair. I'm so tired of getting that. I'm not fucking with. I'm just tired. I'm just tired. Okay, I can have a position with that. I'm just tired. I can't position out with nothing. Go out of my phone, man. Go out of my phone. Dang, bro. I'm so... Hi, Gina. How are you doing today? Tired. Tired, bro. I'm going home. I'm getting my bed. Tired. Tired, bro. Hate this shit, bro. I'm getting up work.
All right, so she's clearly frustrated with work. I hear her points, but at the same time, I just think that people are missing the big picture. But, again, this is all about opinion. Some of you that'll relate, and there's some of you that'll just be, your mind is blown right now. But let's check out the next one, okay? Let's check out the next one.
I'm work.
Y'all, I'm fucking tired of working. Really am. One day out of this fucking year, I just need to wake up to something good. Like, oh, you don't gotta work no more. You could pay off your fucking debt. You could get a house, get a car. Tired of living this fucking 9 to 5 and these fucking people at the fucking jobs being bullies, and I'm just fucking sick of it. I'm sick of waking up every day and not feeling fulfilled. I'm sick of waking up every day on a fucking routine, a schedule, and I'm not even doing nothing with my life but fucking working. I can't even be on TikTok or nothing because I'm always fucking working. I can't become an influencer or give back to my YouTube or do any fucking thing because I'm always fucking working. Then these fucking jobs don't even fucking appreciate you for even coming in to work. You get there and they all got fucking attitudes. You're getting other people fucking negative energy. People don't know how to wake up on the right side of the fucking bed. They always waking up on the wrong side. Then they got an attitude with you. Then I'm just like, I'm just here for the check, bitch. I'm not here for your fucking attitudes. I'm not here for the fucking rude ass customers. Like, fuck working. Fuck America and they fucking working ass fucking stupid ass jobs. I hate it here. Like, is this the American dream? Because, bitch, I'm not dreaming. This is a fucking nightmare.
Were you born between 1959 and 1969? If so, you can get a Milwaukee combo kit completely free.
I hate to be one of those people that like cry on the internet, but I just want to be as real as possible and as as vulnerable as possible so people can stop glorifying it. Like, a lot of people in my comments will be like, oh, I'm so proud of you, like, keep going, you're such a hustler. And it's like, people don't understand how much fucking work it is and how tiring it is on your body, mentally and physically. Like, I still haven't got out of the bed for this morning. I'm only getting up to use the bathroom. And it's because I'm so tired. I don't have the desire to even cook for myself or even put myself a meal together. Like, I'm just so fucking drained. I can't even explain it. Like, I can't even explain how I feel. I'm just so drained. Like, I don't even want to eat. I don't want to do anything. I just want to be able to lay here. I wish I could just sleep. And it's like, I don't know. I feel bad because I feel like I'm finally seeing the effects that people were trying to warn me about. And I just wanted to be delusional and ignore them. Like, I'm fine. I can keep going to work. I can keep doing this. I'm just going to do it for a little bit until I reach a goal. And it's like, I don't even know if I'll reach that goal at this point because it's taking such a big toll on my mental health and my physical health. My body just it feels like it's breaking down. My legs are always sore. My arms are always sore. Cuts all over my hands and everything. And I'm just so tired. Can't even explain it. So tired on multiple levels. I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
All right. So,
This one, you gotta watch this right here.
First thing they do is call you lazy, they call you soft, or they call you crazy. Like, how dare you reject the same programming that I accepted? How dare you reject the same script they gave me? They told us to finish high school, go to college, find a good job, retire at 65 years old, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And I'm just like, okay. If that's the life you want, by all means, I hope you become the manager, the CEO, become the best employee you can be. Cool, you can have it. But understand, everyone doesn't want that. Everyone doesn't believe in the American dream like you do. I mean, we live in America, right? The land of the free. So shouldn't a man or woman be able to say, you know what, I want to exercise my freedom and get out of this rat race. I don't want to do this the rest of my life. Maybe I have to do it for a period of time to save and build my own business or whatever I have to do, but I don't want to participate in this rat race. And if we are in the land of the free, that man or woman should be able to do so without anyone telling them not to do so. But here you are.
A bitch just don't want to work. And don't. I hate it. I don't know how people can sit at a job for working 8 hours a day. I don't even know how motherfuckers can work 40 hours a week because I hate it. I literally hate it, especially working for somebody else. Like, if my job offer VTO, we'll be taking it quickly. I don't care because I don't be having the mental capacity to sit at somebody else's job for 8 hours a day. I don't. I have very low attention span, and half of the time I just don't be paying attention. Like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to work 5 days a week for 8 hours a day. I can't. When my job offer VTO, I take it. Now I do go to work now, so I don't get in the comments being cute. But it's hard for me, and I don't want to work, these long hours. Working 8 hours a day, it's just, it's not giving for me personally. Like, I need something else. Like, I'm dreading. Like, I know I can't be the only person that feel like this, but working is so overrated. I'm sick of it. Like, I feel like this new generation, none of us don't want to work for real like our moms and, moms and dads and grandparents did. They went to work, but nowadays we don't want to work. I want to make money another way because just having to just deal with people, especially if you in customer service, dealing with customer service, it's a lot. Like, it's just so much, y'all. Like, I just don't know what I want to do. I hate working. I don't enjoy it. I want to make money. I want to make money other ways. I don't want to go work for nobody. I don't want to clock nobody else's time. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, y'all. I got to figure this out. Cause
I'm sorry, I got to stop this because I can't take no more. I had to stop this. Look, this is our generation. This is what's out there now. None of what they said makes no logical sense whatsoever because you're telling me that you don't want to work long hours. 8 hours is long hours. Really? So I don't want to work long hours. I don't want to work 8 hours. I don't want to have to go to a job. I don't want to have to deal with people. I want to make money some other kind of way. What other way you gonna have to make money where you're not gonna deal with people? You're gonna deal with people whatever you do. Even if you're working uh, uh, at home, whatever, you got to deal with people at some point. You're dealing with somebody. So how do you gonna think you're gonna make money and not deal with people? But you don't even want to get out of the bed. My arms are sore. My legs are sore. I haven't even got out of the bed just to use the bathroom. This generation that's out there now. This is what's supposed to be taking care of us in the future. I don't get it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Quentin. I know you got something to say. Go ahead.
I've been writing. I've been taking notes so I won't forget because I'll forget. But I want to empathize with him a little bit. When she started saying that, I thought about what that article that Jamon had brought up. That I think he said it was Gen Z feels like they have nothing to look forward to. That and burnout is real, and I think a lot of people, regardless of age or what, they did a whole thing about burnout a few years ago. and a lot of people are burnt out. And I can empathize with a little bit. It's like you feel like you're running in place sometimes. You're working hard, you're working long hours, you're barely making ends meet. But that goes back into our conversation. If they had more to look forward to, then it may not be much of a big of an issue for them. And for fun, I want to quote George Carlin.
What?
It's called the American Dream because you have to be asleep to believe it.
Well, they didn't have no problem. I think they just slept, so they should be fine. But look, I understand about the burnout, but they ain't old enough to. I can't give them a pass
They're
on
not
that.
old enough.
They ain't
That's
old
a,
enough to be burnt out, dude. They're not
that's
old enough
another
to be
thing.
burnt out.
Sorry, that's another thing I was gonna say. We're seeing, our parents and grandparents' generation who made it look easy. They worked 2 and 3 jobs like it was nothing. I mean, I do get that too. Another thing for giggles, for kicks and giggles. That's why the lottery makes so much money.
Oh, because of this. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Because everybody, is like, it's just that dream. I'm gonna hit it one day. I just keep buying tickets.
Got a dream.
What about you, Jeff?
So,
What you think?
So, we talked about enabling the new employee, just like where they changed the schedule to where we got off at 1 and 2 in the morning. Now, in order to encourage people to come to work, they had the older people come in early so the new people don't have to work so late, because they wouldn't come to work having to work all those hours and going home late. It's, you're rewarded every 2 weeks. Somebody doesn't have to pat your butt and tell you you're doing a good job. You get rewarded every 2 weeks. So, like the girl said, I don't care about my hair. I don't care about the car insurance. I don't care about this. Somebody's been enabled way too long and allowed to have what she wants and not work. And now she has to work and she doesn't understand. Well, why do I have to pay for all this myself? Well, it's because you're an adult now. You couldn't wait to be 18 so you could make your own decisions. There you are, baby. You're 18. Now go work and make your own decisions on what you're going to pay. You know, now now kids don't want to go to work. They just want to stay there and play video games all day. And no, that's Quentin, I love you, but you are in a bad generation of you got to work for your future. You're doing it, but there's so many your age that don't that are in those videos going, I don't want to work. I don't want to work.
Well, yeah,
Well,
sorry to cut you off. Well, you know I work and I was raised like that anyway.
yes. So, but there's so many out there that will go get a job and work the required amount just so they can get their unemployment back. And that's what they're living on. They're happy with that, what, couple $100 a week that they're getting on unemployment, and then want to know why Quentin's got a new car and Quentin's got a nice house. Quentin's got this. It's not right because Quentin has all this. Well, Quentin has worked for it.
Yeah.
It's like we talked about. They're not encouraging people to work. Politically, ethically, the country has gone downhill. And let me go back to Trump's tweets that James was talking about. I didn't think he was correct either. But if he hadn't have tweeted, we wouldn't have known how bad it was. So, yes, he's an ass. Yes, he's a pig. But the man was truthful. The swamp is wide and deep.
Yeah, Twitter's a dumpster.
Yeah. So I'm not voting for him because of who he is. He's an ass, but I think he's the best for the country. And I don't know how somebody that got 1% of the vote during the primary is now 100% qualified to be the president.
Is there anybody else you would pick, Jeff?
Trey Gowdy.
I feel like Trump was kind of like a political stunt because he was going against Hillary and they thought there was no way to beat Hillary, but nobody liked her.
Nobody liked her. So, but, she wants to debate Trump. Trump's not going to debate her until after the Democratic National Convention, because when she bombs the primary or debate, then they'll replace her.
Oh, you talking about Harris?
So he's going to wait till after she is crowned the Democratic nominee, and then he'll debate her. But if he debates her now, she won't be the nominee because she has nothing to debate on.
Yeah, that's true. She really doesn't. She hasn't. She hasn't done anything, so she really has
So,
nothing to stand on. She has nothing to stand on.
but you think about that. That's why he won't debate her until after they make her the nominee.
Well, I got a feeling with all the money that they raise and with everything going on and all the rhetoric and all the hype with everything, I think the Democrats are shocked. I don't think beyond.
No, I mean it's
I don't think they win. It's just too much that has gone on, and it's too much. It's just been too much revealed that it's obvious that Pelosi and all them up there, they don't care. And it's
no.
time to get them out. It's time to vote all of them. All of them. Vote them out.
They keep isolating themselves from the more, I don't know, however you want to use progressive, but like they won't let any new ideas in. It's all the same old stuff. Anybody that comes in and even remotely challenges them, they push them out.
Have y'all watched JD Vance's movie?
Was it the Hillbilly movie?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
So that is right down the street from, or down the road from where I grew up. If you want to know what it's like to drive into my hometown, watch that movie.
What movie is
It
this?
is very, very sad.
What movie is
What?
this? What movie is this?
Hillbillyism, I think.
Let me look
It's
it up.
JD Vance's movie. It's on Netflix. But it's real America. The jobs move out. Everybody's bored. There's nothing for kids to do. So drugs, trouble, crime.
There it is.
Yep. We need to understand we need jobs and we need fairness.
Yeah,
So, gentlemen, I do want to thank you for allowing me to be part of this.
no problem.
No problem, sir. That's why we started it, and we always want different viewpoints. It's not about what it's about what America thinks. It's going to take a collective effort for us to make any kind of change because right now everybody's just
Yep.
So, but I'm glad that you was able to join us, Jeff, and we'll definitely have you back on again in the future if you don't mind coming back.
We can do that.
Awesome. All right, Quentin, you got anything else to say?
No, I got nothing.
All right, then. Well, brother, sister, we appreciate y'all tuning in to the Truth to Freedom podcast, Real Talk for Real People. My name is James Parker, along with my host, Quentin Williams, and our guest, Mr. Jeff Meister. We appreciate y'all coming on. Again, do us a favor. Please like, share, leave a review of this podcast because it helps amazing people just like you find this podcast and it moves it up the algorithms and moves it up so other people will find it. Again, we started this podcast because we just thought it's a better way to look at the political picture. We started this podcast because we want people to have conversations other than what they're having that CNN, MSNBC, and all these other news, Fox News. People are just talking about what they talk about. When they spew out stuff, that's the same stuff people start spewing out what they heard on TV. That's not the conversation y'all need to be having, people. Y'all need to be having real conversations, just what we have. You need to be talking about the issues and don't get offended about what the other person says because that's how they feel and they're telling you. Take it to heart because there might be some truth in it. You never know. But anyway, that's it for this episode. We are out of here until the next time. We ask everybody, please take care of yourself. Be good until the next time. God bless.